The following video may contain spoilers and unfiltered opinions from a serial binge watcher. Viewer discretion is advised.
Imagine meeting someone so picture perfect, it's like you're living that rom-com fantasy you've played 1,000 times in your head. They laugh at your weird jokes, you like the same music. You could say it's fate, but as the summer heat cools down, you ask whether those moments were real or just a love story that was never there. You see, 500 Days of Summer holds up a mirror to the hopeless romantics in all of us. The ones who yearn for that storybook romance and fantasize about what it's like to find that special human connection. By the end of this roller coaster of a movie, we're left with memories and questions about our own lives. So if you don't mind, let's dive into these bittersweet days of summer. Hey you, it's me, Eve, and it's that time of the year where everything feels hot, flirty, and full of potential. Summer's here, y'all, and by the time I post this video, it will probably be over.
The way I really knew I was not gonna have this video up in time for summer, but happy fall, y'all. Hope you're having a good time.
With that comes mosquito bites and the annoying urge to be booed up in time for cuffing season. Or maybe that's just me. No, I think we've all been there. You meet someone or you reconnect with an old situationship and you think this is finally it. Fast forward to you crying in your room listening to the Heartbreak playlist you've had since middle school. Speaking of, this video is actually inspired by the song Ceilings by Lizzie McAlpine or Lizzie McGuire. She really had the girls running all over my For You page in nothing but ball gowns and snow boots, living their Cinderella fantasies. The song itself is just a mixed bag of deep emotions, the nostalgia, the longing, with a sprinkle of delusion. All very relatable for some more than others. And that's where 500 Days of Summer comes in.
The boy, Tom Hansen of Margate, New Jersey, grew up believing that he'd never truly be happy until the day he met the one.
We all know a Tom, or perhaps have been Tom at some point, and then we have our manic pixie dream girl, Summer. Tom and Summer's first official interaction makes us think the movie is a classic love story of boy meets girl, and then they run off into the sunset together.
I love the Smiths.
Sorry?
I said I love the Smiths. You've good taste in music.
You like the Smiths?
Yeah. To die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. I love them.
Holy.
Side note, what is it with all these elevators in rom-coms? They're like these magical boxes of destiny where two potential soulmates get trapped and then boom, instant chemistry. And I can't be the only one who's noticed this, but moving on. According to Tom, Summer isn't just a girl. She's the girl. The girl that walked straight out of his daydreams and will make his world complete. But plot twist.
Summer Finn of Shinnecock, Michigan, did not share this belief. Since the disintegration of her parents' marriage, she'd only loved two things. The first was her long, dark hair. The second was how easily she could cut it off.
The days that follow are just Tom deep in the new crush phase. You know, every song on the radio, every conversation and little chuckle here and there feels like a sign from the universe that y'all belong together. And Tom is doing everything he can to get her attention. Finally, an opportunity presents itself.
This Friday, all you can karaoke at the mill.
No.
Come on. It's a work thing. The whole office is going.
I can't go even if I wanted to.
You're not listening to me.
What?
The whole office is going.
It's day 28, and this stage is where things get a little cute. You know, you start sharing childhood stories and how many siblings you have.
How many siblings do you have? Oh, you have a lot. You have a lot.
And your favorite YouTube channel that you like and subscribe to. And those first few barriers start coming down. I will give it to our girl Summer because at least she's honest.
I just don't feel comfortable being anyone's girlfriend.
What happens if you fall in love?
There's no such thing as love, it's fantasy.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Okay, well, what is it that I'm missing then?
Their views on love could not be more different. But I also can't blame Tom in this story because for me, that exchange would have been enough to think that I had a strong chance, especially after this.
Do you like me?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I like you.
As friends?
Right, as friends.
I think you're interesting, and I'd like for us to be friends.
Day 31 is where the summer stands got me fucked up because she knew that he was the relationship type. But literally after all that conversating, she just goes ahead and does this.
So that was fun the other night.
Can somebody call HR immediately? Because when I first watched this movie, I really thought this scene was like Tom's hallucination, like a daydream, right? But no, it was very much real and just confusing for everybody involved. Because now we're in the full-on dating stage of a situationship. But at least this stage is where things get fun. Cue the rom-com montage. First stop, Miss IKEA. While walking amidst Swedish-styled furniture, Summer just casually drops, "I'm not looking for anything serious." Yet, as contradictory as ever, reaches for the man's hand. And that night, things get a little bit intimate. Day 95, the situationship is in full swing, and Tom plays tour guide as they sit on a cute bench in the park. He shares his passion for architecture and the architect design and architectural knowledge, and it's not just about the structures for him. It's a love language, a deep dive into how he perceives the world around him, and he invites Summer into a deeply personal part of his world, and she's all ears, sparking that almost forgotten passion in him.
Wish people would notice it more. If it were me,
If it were you, what?
make them notice.
How would you make them notice? Show me. Please, I don't know anything about architecture.
You want me to draw you something?
Yeah.
I don't have any paper.
Well, use my arm.
Day 109 is the first time Tom goes to Summer's apartment. It's giving intimate. Not in the physical sense, get your mind out of there, emotionally.
That wall Summer so often hid behind, a wall of distance, of space, of casual, was slowly coming down. As he listened, Tom began to realize that these weren't stories routinely told. These were stories one had to earn. He wondered if anyone else had made it this far.
I've never told anybody that, but
Guess I'm not just anybody.
Their bond deepens, as does Tom's complacency. To him, labels don't matter anymore. He is in it, heart and soul. And by day 154,
I'm in love with Summer. I love her smile. I love her hair. I love her knees. I love this heart-shaped birthmark she has on her neck. I love the way she sometimes licks her lips before she talks. I love the sound of her laugh. I love how she makes me feel. Like anything's possible. Like, I don't know, like life is worth it.
the euphoria of those early days where everything seems rosy with potential is honestly unmatched. But these rose-colored glasses don't just amplify the good stuff. They tend to blur out the red flags because summer was a dream, a goal, the final piece to his perfect puzzle. We can't fault Tom entirely. We all grew up on a steady diet of 90s rom-coms and power ballad that sold the narrative, love is the key to happiness.
How wonderful life is while you're in the world. I'd catch a grenade for you. Jump in front of a train for you. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy in love. There's nowhere in the world I'd rather be than here in my room, dreaming about you and me. I love you like a love song, baby, and I keep hearing it about beep.
No wonder there are so many Delulus walking around here. These love songs, the movies, they all promised a world where there's always a happy ever after because what? Love conquers all. Reality check. Relationships, when they are mutual, are exciting and mesmerizing. But when we start painting people as these idealized versions of who we want them to be, rather than who they actually are, we are setting ourselves up for a whole lot of disappointment. Look at Tom. Tom's perceived notions of Summer, influenced by his own desire, clouded his ability to truly understand her. While her signals were mixed, I will say that her signals were mixed. Summer always voiced her truth. Instead of taking her word at face value, Tom chose to interpret them through his lens of hope and expectations. The fantasy starts to unravel after a night out. Picture a chic 50s cocktail bar, the chatter, the ambiance, and suddenly a punch thrown after some random guy's remarks cut a little too deep for Tom. And by the time they get to Summer's apartment, all these bottled up emotions, well, they can't be ignored anymore.
Okay, well, next time, don't, because I don't need your help.
No, don't pull that with me. Don't even try to. This is not how you treat your friend. Kissing in the copy room, holding hands in IKEA, shower sex. Come on, friends my balls.
I like you, Tom. I just don't want to release.
Well, you're not the only one that gets a say in this. I do too. And I say we're a couple. God damn it.
Tom's outburst reflects a deep longing for validation, a desire for a commitment Summer is not willing to give. A feeling that's painfully familiar, that desperation for assurance, yet often the reality is,
I can't give you that. Nobody can.
It becomes even more clear that both are on different pages, but instead of confronting the truth, they both opt for willful ignorance. Why? Because it's just easier that way. We often opt for comforting lies because facing a painful reality demands change and confronting raw emotions we might not be ready to actually handle.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent. I'm legally blind.
But ignoring the present can only prolong the inevitable. Day by day, those cracks in the relationship just got bigger and harder to ignore until eventually.
I think we should stop seeing each other. This thing, what are we doing? I mean, is this normal?
No, I don't know. I don't care. I'm happy. Aren't you happy?
You're happy?
You're not?
All we do is argue.
That is good. I'm really glad we did this.
Tom, don't go. You're still my best friend.
When the breakup dust settles, Tom turns to his friends for some much needed TLC. You know how it goes. Sometimes your friends, with the best intentions, can become the biggest enablers of our delusions.
You know, maybe she was just in a bad mood.
Yeah, maybe like a hormonal thing.
PMS?
What do you know about PMS?
More than you, Tom.
Instead of getting the reality check he desperately needs, they try to justify Summer's actions, but their perspective is heavily influenced by Tom's skewed recaps of events. By day 322, Tom's in full-blown hate mode.
I hate Summer. I hate her crooked teeth. I hate her 1960s haircut. I hate her knobby knees. And I hate her cockroach-shaped splotch on her neck. I hate the way she smacks her lips before she talks. And I hate the way she sounds when she laughs. I hate this song!
Son, you're gonna have to exit the vehicle.
Is this genuine hatred or just a coping mechanism? A way to justify why things ended? Regardless, he's spiraling and it's heartbreaking, honestly. You hate the restaurant because you used to have date night there. You hate the certain music you used to like because it reminds you of them. It's not until day 345, smack in the middle of a lackluster blind date, that Tom's mind really plunges into a deep dive, revisiting those overlooked red flags and memories with Summer leading up to their breakup. And if we, the audience, rewind to day 266...
You loved her, you were kissing.
Well, what about you? Did you ever even have a boyfriend?
Of course.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Well, in high school, there was Marcus.
Quarterback slash homecoming king.
No, he was a rower. He was very hot. For a brief time in college, there was Charlie. She was nice, but and then there was my semester in Siena, Fernando Bellardelli.
What happened? Why didn't they work out?
What always happens? Life.
We get a glimpse into Tom's inner thoughts. He's crafted an idealized image of Summer, but as they delve into the conversation about past relationships, the facade starts to crack. When we put someone on a pedestal, reality has a way of bringing us back down. Often the heartbreak that follows isn't just about losing somebody. It's about losing the narrative we've crafted around them. Ultimately, Tom confronts a universal truth that memories are subjective. We remember things not as they are, but as how we feel in that moment. Days 402 to 408 are just wild. That unexpected run-in with your ex on a train to attend the exact same wedding, the shared laughs and old stories start flowing. It's like the universe is tempting you with a taste of what was, making you ask yourself, hey, could this be a thing again? Maybe. But no, these random encounters are not a cue to restart the old dance. It's just a test to see how far you've come.
Penis.
No.
I was gonna maybe have a party on Friday, on our rooftop that has a really nice garden. Do you want to come?
Yeah.
Every one of us has walked into a room with a reel of expected moments playing in our minds. You've got this script you've unconsciously planned, filled with conversations you'll have and the reactions you'll get. But why? Because our minds are innate storytellers. From the time we're kids playing pretend to our adult years, now daydreaming about our big accomplishments, our brains are constantly manufacturing stories. Yet, life itself surprises us at every turn, giving us not what we expected, but what we truly need. The brilliance of this split scene deserved its own video. On one side, we see Tom's expectations, a hopeful montage of reconciliation and romance. On the other, the raw, unfiltered reality of what actually happens that night. It's more than just Tom's story, it's ours too, reminding us how sometimes our hopes misalign with reality. From day 440 to 442, we see Tom's journey through the stages of grief, denial, and a whole lot more anger. And there's a moment of pure honesty where he questions the very essence of his job and just his life as a whole.
It's these cards. The movies and the pop songs, they're to blame for our lives, and the heartache, everything. I think we do a bad thing here. People should be able to say how they feel, how they really feel, not, some words that some strangers put in their mouths. Words like love that don't mean anything. I'm sorry. I quit.
Within each heartbreak, there's an opportunity for rediscovery and reinvention. Watching Tom restructure his life is a testament to that. And then when he finally confronts Summer on day 488, it's with a renewed sense of self and acceptance of the present and him looking forward to a brighter future.
You should have told me. When you were at the wedding and we were dancing.
Well, he hadn't asked me yet.
But he was in your life.
Yeah,
So why'd you dance with me?
because I wanted to.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
I just kept thinking, Tom was right.
No.
Yeah, I did. It just wasn't me that you were right about.
I really do hope that you're happy.
We make it to day 500, where Tom meets Autumn. A fresh start, you can say. I think that the biggest lesson here is people walk into our lives for a reason and sometimes for a season. Summer's entry into Tom's life, her interest in his passion, was the catalyst he needed, not just to fall in love, but to rediscover himself, to reignite his dreams of being an architect. Every person we meet, every experience we have, like the intense, brief nature of Summer, brings its own warmth and its own storms, and eventually its own autumn. As painful and joyous, contributes to our understanding and resilience. Be honest. Have y'all ever been in a Tom and Summer kind of situationship? Because as a honorable member of the Delulu community, I can say I definitely have. And I can't wait to read y'all's tea in the comments. And like always, keep watching and stay crushing on this channel.